Okay, big day here, everybody. So let's finish up Graf Shavei. Maybe we'll start pets. Animal Day. Maybe we'll start today. Who knows? Let's see if we get there. That's Hashem. So, so the Chayra, I mentioned yesterday a certain kula. Chayra, I see that this stama, it can be saying on this that even if something is not a Graf Shavei yet, if something's not a Graf Shavei yet, so we saw yesterday that you're allowed to, you don't have to wait till it becomes a Graf Shavei. Good, I think that's Mekubal by the Paiskim. Something's not yet a Graf Shavei, you don't have to wait till the point where it actually becomes a Graf Shavei, until the point of where you're actually suffering from it. Okay, it's hard to find exactly examples because most of the things at the point of when they're not a Graf Shavei, they're not really Muksia, but whatever. Now, don't get confused. I say this l'chayra, you'll see why in a moment. What would be if the fellow is going away for Shalosh Shodas? You know, so and Shabbos afternoon he's sitting there and he's eating his what? No, not to read it. Read it on books. But he's eating his shells, his seeds and the shells, and he's made the whole mess over there while he learns. He's made a whole mess, and now he's going out for Shalosh Shodas. And now on the table he has mamish a whole mess of shells. But he's going out for Shalosh Shodas. So l'chayra, I think it's the pashtus. L'chayra b'kai gavna, we're not going to let him clean it up. I mean, right, the whole letter of Graf Shavei is that he's staying there, and it's going to bother him. If he's not staying there, it's not going to bother him. L'chayra, there's no letter of Graf Shavei. Sorry? Okay, but he's not staying there. He's not staying there. Okay, so that's the shah I want to done. The shah is like this. That psak that I just said, I saw it was the shah. Yehuda says I agree with it. L'chayra. Come again? You might only have that heter when it's a tzarech of the makim. He's saying, why can't I just put on the table something and now move it? Because then that's, again, then you're moving a pile of muksa, which you do something else, right? You're going to pick it up with something else? You can't touch the muksa ones. Right? No. And you wouldn't even be able to put, let's say, on the plastic tablecloth, and there's a fork there, and pick it up. That's only if you need now the malkim. If you're leaving the house and you're not there for Shal Shidduch, you don't even need the malkim, right? So the shal is how far to take this. For example, right? Let's say you go to someone's house for Shabbos, and let's say like this. It's hard to find of a case, but let's say you were asking me a case. Let's say he's there. Okay, let's say he's Friday night. He's in a house, right? And they tell him, let's say they don't have their own children or whatever the case is. So they tell you, you could use that room to change the baby. That was the case, something like that. You could use that room to change the baby. So you go in there, you change the baby, and you leave the diaper there. Now, no one's going into that room the whole entire Shabbos. No one's going into that room the entire Shabbos. And, let's say that's the case, right? But you want to take the diaper with you when you leave because it's just not get past. It's not the normal thing to do, to not take the diaper. Now, let's see. There's no heter of moving muksa, b'makim the normal thing to do. It's always normal to move muksa, right? What's a heter? Is there a heter? It doesn't have to, it's not an aguna. If it's also, life will go on. Is there a heter in this case to move the diaper out of the room? So what are you going to say? You're going to say, what? What's Rav Moshe? No, there's no grab. The whole part of Rav Moshe was when it's bothering her right now. So even though it doesn't bother you, there's a heter of a Graf Shavei. That's Rav Moshe. Here, it's not bothering anybody. No one's going into this room till Motzei Shabbos. Just what? Motzei Shabbos, they're going to walk into this room. They're going to say, "Oh, it's a Graf Shavei of Speter." What do you say to such a case? Rav Yitzchak asked me this child today. What? Flush a door is different because you're not really. First of all, you're not really doing vidayim anything. It might be a grama, might be tiltum and tzad, serach the malkim. And besides, if someone else is going into the bathroom, there's no shayla. Okay, so he'll say it's tiltum and tzad and it's a serach malkim. And by the end of Shabbos, it's always possible someone's going to use ein kevel a toilet, like the Gemara Lahatel says on a cup. Ein kevel for these things. That doesn't bother me. But yeah, it's a very, I don't know, it's a very normal thing that can happen. You're using a room. It's again like, there's one case where it's negay in your own house, and there's one case where it's negay. Let's go into your own house in a minute, okay? Let's say in your own house. Because you'll see in a moment, maybe somebody else, it's really ekeldick, it's covered up brius, it's not nice or whatever, I don't know. Let's say in your own house, you have a room in the back that you change the child. It's not bothering anybody right now. So is there any out there? You change the child right around Shalosh Shudas time, okay? And you leave the diaper there. It's not bothering anybody. Motzei Shabbos, you'll take it out. Is there any heter to take it now? You want now to take it out. That's like, people get into a mode without even thinking. Just take it out and you put it in front of the door. That's not mutter. Everybody agree to that? It's a grab rei is not because there's a custom. Once something is revolting, you're allowed to move it. It's the grab rei heter is that in a case where it's revolting and it's bothering you now. So then you're allowed. Akadei kach, as Mishabura says in one place. Once you moved it already to the side, it's not bothering you anymore. You can't move it anymore. So I changed the baby in a back room or something, and now no one's going into that back room. So then you have to leave it there until Motzei Shabbos. I think that's the pashtus, right? What? The smell would be okay. So this is the part. Listen. Like I said, I'm getting to something. Don't worry. I know all the. I don't know everything, but I know all the potential shilas. So I saw like this. I saw in the Shmir Shabbos in the 22nd parak in the 122nd ois and the har over there. He says something. I'm not trying to apply it. That's the problem over here. Maybe this is the problem. How exactly to apply this? He says over there lashon. At first I thought he's talking about what we spoke about yesterday. That if you have something that it's not a graf shalrei now, but it will become a graf shalrei. So then you have a heter now, and you don't have to wait till it becomes a graf shalrei. That's where Shlomo Zalman is going on. But Shlomo Zalman adds words. He says lemacher. Tomorrow, if you leave it, he says a very interesting word. He says if you have something that's not a graf shalrei now, but if you leave it here, even tomorrow it'll become a graf shalrei. Lemacher, it'll be a graf shalrei. So he says then you're allowed to move it right now. Those are the words it says in Shlomo Zalman. Shlomo Zalman is being quoted from a michtav, a letter that was written to the Moor Shabbos. It's in the 3rd volume. In the 37th letter, he says the same thing. It's the exact same. It's a direct quote. The Shmir Shabbos took it from that letter. Now I'm a little bit navoich how to apply this from Shlomo Zalman. And as Shlomo Zalman is telling me, I have something now. It's not a graf shalrei. Tomorrow's already after Shabbos. So at first I thought maybe I'm just making a mistake. Maybe it means tomorrow. Maybe it means Friday night. Right? What do you think? Yeah, maybe it just means Friday night, and it means like tomorrow, Shabbos day. I find it hard to believe not like that. If you're not going to say that, it's an unbelievable chiddush. But why in the world? Chazal matter the graf shalrei. The heter of muktzah, they mattered you to do something which isn't going to bother you the entire Shabbos. I don't know. I find it hard to believe. I'm telling you, this thing is not day mavur in the paiskim. I just want you to realize that that's a real thing. What is the heter? You go to somebody else's house, you change the baby in a back room, something like that. And now the diaper's off and the diaper's there and no one's going into that room. What's that there? Because Motzei Shabbos, they're going to say, whoa, what does this guy do over here? What is that? What's that at there? What is that? It's right now not bothering anybody. It says mefurish in the Mishabura. If the graph is in a place where it's not bothering anybody, you don't have a right to move it. That's a makim she'ena darsham. He's not there b'kfiyas. Elamai, there's a new thing, is that it's embarrassing. So, okay, is it the level of covered abrius, what the Paiskim talk about in the Gemara Brachas Daf Yutes, there's a whole sugya of covered abrius that we matter certain things, the makom covered. Okay, so then you have to know in each case. If for example, if the person's a ben Torah, he also learns or whatever, you can explain to him, I'm not really how to move it. And he's going to say, what do you mean? It's a graf shalrei. You say graf shalrei, the only heter to move graf shalrei is when it's bothering you now, but nobody's actually using that room, or etc. So then, sorry? Yeah, I'm saying that's in the case where the person's a ben Torah, is a normal person, right? Let's say, you're going to start telling this to the shviger. Graf shal shviger. What are you going to do? You can explain to the shviger, I left the diaper in there, or worse, your wife and your mother, her shviger, right? This is your wife. This is your wife. The scholars, this is your wife. Right? She left the diaper. So what is that? Is it mutter to move muksa b'makom shviger? Right? But where the shviger is a graf shalrei. What's the? No, it's not. I don't know a heter on this. It's not bar to me. If it's agdei gacha covered abrius, I hear. But it's got to be a real covered abrius. This is something which isn't so bar to me. Rabbi Lieberman is asking, which is definitely a lot of times the case. If you don't take it out now, by the time it comes to Motzei Shabbos, it's going to geferlich, right? The smell's going to go. It can blow up Iran. It could be geferlich. The smell sometimes at Shabbos. So maybe there's something which is such a graph that maybe Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. What?
Bothering your mother, you gotta take it out then because another.
So that I have another problem with. What happens if you have a mouse? It's the same child. These are the first two childs I just want you to know. Hopefully afterward things will be clear. But these two things bother me a lot. I'm not clear about that. I have three things that bother me. This thing I'm not so clear about. Whether you can move the diaper if it's in your own house, I don't see any reason why you should be allowed to. If it's in somebody else's house, could you say that itself is the mahus of a graph, that it's so revolting? So Chazal gave a heter of not having a revolting situation. Hagam, this situation is Motzei Shabbos. Lo barur this. I'm not convinced. Rabbi Zinker is asking a different shaila. Rabbi Zinker is asking something that also bothers me. Let's say like this. Let's say, wait, what was your shaila?
Your graph in someone else's house, but for them it's
But no, that was my shot. My shot was like, it's a derek shot. The shot is like this. Let's say you have a mouse, right? Lo yaleinu, lo yalechem. And there, like I said yesterday, there she is. There's Minnie, and she's attached to the thing. Now like this. It's in a different room, right? And for Shteitzach, your wife finds it or whatever, and she comes, right? Or you come out screaming to your wife, there it is. It's Pachat Chadim. There it is. He's looking at me. And where is it? It's like let's go every case. It's under the bed. All right, there it is. The mouse is under the bed. Well, why did you see it? Because you dropped under the, you know how it is, like sometimes you drop under the bed, you're like, yarmulke or whatever, you drop under the bed, and there it is, and all of a sudden you feel something furry. And I don't leave my strimel under the bed. It's so strange, right? It feels just like a strimel. It's so interesting, right? No, the tail, because it had those spikes. So you feel the tail and you feel like the spikes of the strimel. And then you go, oh, and you look under the bed, and there it is, helpless, looking at you. Is it bothering anybody? It doesn't smell. He's alive. Yeah. It doesn't smell. Okay. And let's say he's not even making noise because, he got, his beard caught in the and whatever, right? The payas or whatever. So that, like this, nobody sees him. Could you sleep on that? Would you be able, what are you saying? No. Would you ever try it? Would you be able to sleep on what? So I couldn't hold back. I asked this child today to Chaim Kanievsky. I sent somebody to ask this child to Chaim Kanievsky. I just wanted you to hear what's like, before your, Amerikanische Musagim, right? I knew the answer. I just couldn't hold back, right? So I sent this child to Chaim. This was the exact shaila. Bidiyuk. There's a mouse under the bed that was caught. Bidiyuk, this child. A mouse under the bed that was caught, and it's not bothering anybody, or it doesn't smell or anything. Are you allowed to take it out? Right? Omar Rabbeinu, V'dai Shalom. Just to show you how rachik we are. No, we're mamish rachik. No? V'dai Shalom. It's mamish, it was the worst shiloh that was ever asked in the history of the world. It's not bothering anybody. I love it. I can't wait, can you imagine knowing Kol Torah Kula and these things wouldn't bother you? It's so gishmak. When you know Kol Torah Kula, it's just not, it's mufkar. V'dai Shalom. What? There's a mouse on. V'dai Shalom. Okay, so now, wait. Now, how far? Wait. Rabbi say, no, I'm asking you can't ask this question to B'nai Brak. I'm trying to just show you we're on our own now. Wait. Slow. No, Rabbi say, Rabbi Nissen told us that a live mouse was B'chlal not a graf, which you showed me in the Mekor Chaim, right? It's not the biggest raya that Mekor Chaim. You know why? Because he showed me, Rabbi Nissen showed me not Nissen Krell, but Nissen, right? That Mekor Chaim talks about a live mouse that was caught, and he says you're allowed to take it and feed it to the cats. Right? You're allowed to feed it to the cats. So he said, and the Altskraf Shalrei, that's what he's going on our sif. I thought about it, unfortunately, during Mincha, but I thought about it, and I don't think it's a raya, because maybe it was one of those traps that, one of those matzavim, and, there's blood and there's guts and there's, like the whole, digestion system's coming out there. So he's alive, right? But it's not a raya. I mean, maybe it was a graf shalrei, but over here it's just a nice, friendly mouse on top of a trap and whatever, right? The Gemara's mouse is dead, right? Rav Ashi said, "Nemtach avet, take him out of here, take him by the tail and shik him avek." Right? Now wait. So we're on our own. I'm asking, we're on our own. So now how far? Okay, under the bed, I don't think I'd be able to sleep. I don't think I'd be able to sleep, right? But let's say it's not under the bed. It's in a back room, some boiler room. I don't know, every room, a boiler room is every back. Because you get my point. It's like some no shaykhis room that you're not even going into. I don't know any ether in the world to go and take that mouse out. Hagam, it's going to be quite an unpleasant Shabbos. What? I don't know what to tell you. But what's that heter? That heter, there's no heter of wait, Rabbi say for these things there are pills. There's no head, no. I mean, there's no heter of muksa b'makim psychological damage. In other words, ina imus of Rav Shlomo Zalman, let's say the way we went for Rabbi Chaim, and ina imus, which is caused from the hafra of the dirt and the whatever. You can't say ina imus because it's bothering. With that, you can shaking the shviger oichet. Anything that bothers you is already a muksa b'makim. That's not the heter. The heter of grashal ray is not things that bother you. Are not muksa anymore. You can move them out. I don't know if there's a heter like that. I don't know. Wait, let's go further because I told you the first three things I'm causing trouble. Slow. What? It's not sneeze. I'll try to understand this, but I'm afraid to try. Say that, but anyways, it's a machit. Okay. Agapanim. Isn't he moving today? He's supposed to up here, no? He's like giving Doritos or something, right? No, all right, there's one more question. No, Rabbi Gottman, you understand what I'm saying? This is what bothers me. I'm not clear on this. I don't know. Would you be able to sleep? No, I don't mean under the bed. That's not cool. But in a different room? So then maybe it's time to grow up a little bit. Does it bothers you so much as a mouse in the other room? Let me tell you the secret. There is a mouse in the other room. Now what? Wait. Slow. 1 minute. I don't know. It's a very side. 1 minute. This kasha really bothers me. I saw this today. I saw this. This is why I called Rabbi Yitzchak. I was driving in my car and I saw this. That's why I loved it. I saw this. And then he asked me this, Shai. I was driving and all of a sudden I saw a person go to the garbage and the person was carrying 2 garbages. Okay? You'll see why it's nega everything for the story. The person is carrying 2 garbages. So the person put down 1 garbage and then pressed the pedal, right? Pressed the gas pedal there, opened up the garbage. You know what I'm talking about, the garbage is there. And then this garbage was on the floor and took that garbage and put it inside. And then once it was open, the garbage that was on the floor, that one was in the hand and put it, and one was on the floor, picked it up and threw it in the garbage. I realized that for sure, those that are kind and decent enough to throw it into the garbage, right? The ones that are decent enough to not leave it outside. I realized, Mistama, anybody bringing 2 garbages or even 1. This person was taka a little bit athletic. You see, he was like, with one hand like that and one hand like that. Most people, they're going to have to put it down and they're going to have to, and then they pick it up and what? So now, wait a second. Once the garaf shalrei is in my hand, assuming garbage is a garaf shalrei, certainly let's say it's a geferliche graph, I don't know whatever. The diaper, usually you don't have to do that with the diaper, whatever. Anyways, slow. Anyways, assuming your garbage is a muksa, right? There are people that take on a lot of the things we said aren't true. They take on that the garbage is filled with a lot of muksa items, and therefore it's a graph, okay? So now you go to the garbage, so you put the garbage down, and now you put it down. Once you put it down, what gives you right to pick it up? Now, think about it for a second. The garbage in the middle of Rosh Hashanah, that nobody in the world was makel on, and it's not even in the middle of Rosh Hashanah. Wait, just a moment. It's not even in the middle of Rosh Hashanah. The garbage over here is in a place where there are people that leave their garbage. And that's how it goes. I'm not saying if this is decent or not, but it's a place where it's certainly the only people that are bothered by it are the people that live right next door, and they're bothered anyways, right? But I'm saying most people walking down the street, that's what Chazal told us. Chazal told us in the Mavui, there's a problem of Graf Sharei. In your house, there's a problem of Graf Sharei. But something that's on the side where the garbage belongs, so now it's down. Again, when the graph is in your hand, that we saw, the Mishabru over here has a whole discussion about this in the 137th Sikatan over here. If when a graph is in your hand, you're allowed to continue carrying it. We take on Pashtis, when a graph is in your hand, you're allowed to continue carrying. Okay. But now it's not in my hand. Now I put it down. And where did I put it down? I put it in a place where it doesn't bother people anymore. So what's the heter to pick it up and throw it in the garbage? Does everyone understand the problem? What? Unfortunately, that's not true. No, unfortunately, in the Balbatishka, it's not true. No, that's not true. Even the people, the upstanding citizens that put it inside the garbage, if you told them that they wouldn't be able to do that, they're still taking it out because I don't want it in my house. The upstanding citizens go, I'll give you an example. When the guy gets there and all 4 are filled, sort of, he looks, kai, and then he leaves it there. No matter who he is, okay? No, Hashem knows the emes, okay? Hashem knows the emes. I saw you do it, okay? Right? No, but you understand, I'm not trying to cause trouble. That's the mistake. But anyways, I don't know. What? What's wrong? What? You dealt with him. That's good. Deal with him. I don't know. No, again, on the way to the garbage, if you didn't let go of it, no question, you're allowed to continue all the way to the garbage. Again, on the way to the garbage, if it's in your hand, once you put it down, not pause, you put it down. Once you put it down, there's no effort to pick up a grab shalrei. That's version in the Gemara. That's version, of course not. Well, I'm again. So the only effort of grab shalrei we saw in a makim of drisas reglayim. I'm talking specifically about the case. You're talking about a case where, let's say, there's other garbages there. Okay, there's actual garbage. It's right by the garbage. So now, but it's not a makim of drisas regular. That's where people put garbage. So now you put it down. You have no right to do that. The answer is you're not allowed. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to put it down. What? Again, I said, I'm talking only about a garbage which is mukta. It happens to be, I believe, that a lot of the garbages are not mukta or whatever. Yeah, but you know what? Even Kafi, what you said, a lot of stuff inside let's say you go with what I keep telling you, there's plastic bottles and plastic plates and there's bones which the dogs love and this whatever. But there are probably things in there which are mukta, right? So what's the after to be moving it? Because tiltum and atzad. So tiltum and atzad is mutal tzarech what? Makim. What makim do I need over here? I don't need a makim. It's got to be some tzarech of the makim. There's no makim. Again, so then kavod abrius, it would have to be it's a different heter. There's a Gemara brachas yutas, which matters their abundance. That's a very aggressive heter. That heter can matter deraisa sometimes. You can't just use it indiscriminately. You have to know when Chazal allowed for that heter. Chazal did not say kavod abrius on every single thing. If there are garbage by the garbage cans, you can't just say kavod abrius. There's a place where there's garbage all the time. How could you say kavod abrius? Kavod abrius means like I'm asking, if you put it on the guy's car, that might be kavod abrius. Right? But you put it in a place where there's garbage all the time, who could say on such a thing, kavod abrius? What? Okay? Maybe that could be. Maybe drisas reg. Okay, these things aren't so far. Not far. Maisa, the paiskim don't say rishas derabim. So I'm not convinced at all. Right?
Why is that case not the full?
Again, so now, everybody say. Is there a heter of muksa b'makim chil Hashem? I don't know. I mean, okay, so each case you have to done. Is there a heter of seder b'makim chil Hashem? Can I drive b'makim chil Hashem? But that's I'm saying. But we're dealing with the heter of graf shalrei.
It's a very common case.
I understand. Yeah. I'm saying I don't know if in every. Again, to get the heter of chil Hashem, it's a whole different sugya. I don't know. You need to be a gadol hador to answer that question. I know. If there's a chil Hashem in this case, if I don't drive or whatever, okay, so you have to ask it. But it's an isser. Now you have to know, did chil Hashem matter that isser? The story with Rabbi Yankov, they were trying to get out a certain person, a certain refusnik, and in order to get him out, the only way was to get the help of a certain government official that was a shady character. Today, he'd probably be like one of the Gedolei Hador compared to what they have today. But a shady character, right? No, I'm saying like, I don't even, yeah. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, so they said to Rabbi Yankov, is it mutter? So Yankov said he has to think about it. So the next day, Rabbi Yankov came back and he said, no, he doesn't know any heter. They said, but it's a pekuch nefesh mamish. Like they sort of were going to Rabbi Yankov, it's covered, not us, a real shayla. So Rabbi Yankov said, listen, I look in the whole Torah last night, and I didn't see anywhere heter for chil Hashem. He held it would be a chil Hashem, the other type of chil Hashem, right? A chil Hashem to get the help from this person, like Kilu, that the Jewish people are mishtayich to such a person, b'makim pekuch nefesh. They didn't feel it was doicha. Even b'makim pekuch nefesh, because chil Hashem is doicha kol haTorah kula sometimes. I'm not saying it's zugnish. Time the person was very upset. He didn't understand. When he was in Eretz Yisrael, he asked the Shalit Rav Shach. Same person. He went to Shach. Rav Shach taka on the spot. Rav Shach, I guess, chazit kol haTorah kula. Says doesn't know from such a heter of chil Hashem to be doicha. No such heter. Even pekuch nefesh, no such heter. So I'm saying we're very serious about chil Hashem, but okay, each case, the dan, whatever, But tachlis, putting something right by the garbage over there, and let's say the case is 2:00 in the morning, anyways. I don't know what, right? Or let's say there's already garbage there to make it a kal v'chaymer. That's what? I understand. Okay. I'm saying.
They know it's only
No one's making that cheshbon on a Tuesday. Yeah, for sure not, right? And every might say Shabbos what the garbage looks like because there's not enough room. So let him complain, but that's the reality. I don't know if that's a Chil Hashem. Chil Hashem would be something worse. Like you're saying, he comes to the garbage, he takes the garbage, puts it right there. Doesn't know because he accidentally put one down. You look at the guy, what are you, sugar? Right? You put one in, and that one's on the ground. You say, no, because not a Malcolm Drisas for Galayim. Cool too. That's already Chil Hashem. But yeah, I don't know if there's a heter to move Muksa b'Malcolm Chil Hashem. Okay, now I might be able to come back to this. Let's start the shir. Those are my problems. Let's start the shir. Let's see. Right? Wait, let me move a little bit. We really have to start. No. So for example, all right. Before that, let me tell you my issues here. Let's say like this. Okay, watch. Maybe we'll be able to get some type of heter. I'm not sure. Let's say you're cleaning the table. And you're cleaning the table because it's graf sharei. Let's be aggressive for a minute. Rosh Zman held that all the stuff on the table is muksa, plastic plates and everything, bones, whatever. Rosh Zman held all that stuff's muksa. So you ask a Jew, why are you cleaning all this stuff off and taking it and putting it in the garbage? He says it's graf sharei. Rosh Zman told us, he's the pesha asar, he's the pesha hit, okay? Or something like that. Okay? Like I told you, a lot of times by us, it's not going to be like that, such a case. But let's say you have mamish a whole table of graf sharei and whatever. Well, after a kiddush, okay? Again, if it's hard for me to believe a lot of this, because most of the time after a kiddush, I don't have any muksa. I have plastic plates, I have food that's still edible, I have plastic bottles, I have plastic cups. These things don't bother me, right? So what do you have? Where's a bag of chips or something that's half open, like that. Shells. Whatever. Okay. So anyways, you're cleaning off the table for the kiddush. You get to 93% done. 93% of the table is, I wrote on my paper 94%. Okay, 94% of the table has been cleaned off for the kids. Now you go back to the table, and you're that one guy that cleans up. There's other clever they don't do. So you're the guy that cleans up. You're the good person. You clean up the table. Now you look at the table. 6% left. It's not such a graph anymore. The whole letter of why I was cleaning up till now is a graph. Right? So I'm not allowed to continue. I got to 94%, and I got it's a yesaitistic shaila. Okay. In other words, I had the heter of graf sharei when you look collectively at the whole entire matziv. But now we're at 94%. It's no longer, so do I have a heter? It's yesaitistic shaila. I realized when I was thinking of this shaila that there's another case which is very daima. The freezer goes off. I told you if you keep the freezer closed, you're going to be okay. Okay. But what happens? So somebody told me last Shabbos a case, right? Because they heard the shir, and he told me that there is a case where Taka, you really do know what to do. I told him just keep the thing closed. It's fine. He told me, well, what happened to him once was that on Friday night, somebody opened up the freezer and just left it open. Okay. So he said, so by the time he got there, Shabbos morning, it wasn't doing, and it was like an old freezer. I don't know if today what would happen to the freezer, but so it was an old freezer and it wasn't pretty. Everything was thawing out, and it was, you had to know the halacha, what you're allowed to do with the raw chicken, with the raw meat, with the raw fish, with everything. So anyways, let's say that's your case. So now your freezer is broken. Right? You open up the freezer, you see the freezer is broken. Well, then it's totally dead, or it's been dead since before Shabbos. It could happen, it was been off. The electricity's been off since before Shabbos, and now you need to know what to do. So I tell you, you knock on my door. I tell you, look, chicken and the raw fish. It's a big shiloh, the meat, and everything. And the end of the day, to have some maruba, I'm going to be Mako, right? After all the dust settled, I'm going to tell you to have some. He says, I have mamish, I have $800 worth of, no, the dollar's worthless. I have like 5,000-6,000 shekel worth of raw this and raw that and raw meat and raw fish and raw everything in there, right? So it's 5,000 shekel. I tell him, it's my plate this. No, I see him. He's taking the fish and the chicken, and there he is. He's running to my freezer. He's using my freezer. He comes. I'm okay. 4,000. Okay, now you have about 700 shekel worth of frozen goods left in your fridge. How you holding? Is that mama chef's food? He says, 700 shekel for me is a lot of money. Sure, you come in. There's one little chicken left, right? The one from under the bed, right? There's one chicken left. He's at 4,970 shekel. You tell him, oh, that's it. I have one more chicken left. Oh, come on, one chicken. Calm down, Bak, right? Does I have some maruba? Bak. Right? One chicken, a guy that has 5,000 shekel worth of meat and fish, right? And trout, and what do you call it, rainbow fish or whatever. All these things. So that's it's the same shaila. When we down the shaila, it's sort of the same shaila. I'll show you it's not. But what's this one? Is it the same shaila once I let you start a heter, could you finish the heter? You like the shaila? It's a big shaila. You like the shaila now? So at first I was going to bring a raya. I brought a raya from the Goin of Moshe Feinstein, the greatest of his time, the greatest person that lived in the whole world. Where Moshe, in the Igros Moshe in Yeridea, it was in Aleph. I realized this as I was driving the raya. I think it's Aleph Mem Gimel, a very long tshuva there in Yeridea. And he's got a long tshuva. At the end of the tshuva, he brings Rabbi Kiva Eger. Take a look there. Rabbi Kiva Eger is talking about something else. He's talking about being magal and kashering in a situation of where it's complicated. We're saimech, there's a bala iter. The bala iter holds that you might be allowed to kasher cheres. Okay, we all grew up, you can't kasher cheres in China or whatever. There's a bala iter shita that you might be able to kasher cheres. It could be that we're saimech on the shita maybe after 12 months, maybe this, that, whatever. Okay, but we're saimech in a makim of a hefsim. There's a klalistic shayla. I have plates. What's the case? You have the baba. The baba. It wasn't so firm. Okay, the other side, right? It wasn't so firm. And you're chayshed that she was eating all types of weird chayrim and Rabbanut Ramallah and whatever. She came to Eretz Yisrael. Everything is kosher. Whatever. Okay, so now you're Yairish the plates. You're Yairish all these wonderful china and everything. Okay, so now you want to know China. You can't kasher China, whatever. Right? So you go to the Rav and you tell the Rav, you go to Rabbi Kiva Eger. Rabbi Kiva Eger says, "Mamsha hefsed meruba." To not be able to kasher is a hefsed meruba. Kiva Eger says, "I hear." Kiva Eger says, "How much is each plate? How much is each plate?" So you tell each plate is probably it's old china. It could be like $20, $30 a plate. So I says $20 is a hefsed meruba. He told him, "Kiva Eger, we have 12 plates, 13 plates. That's $300. $300. This is not zlatos. This is $300." If Kiva Eger says, "No, I look at every plate separately." And you're not hefsed meruba, you're not hefsed meruba, you're not hefsed meruba, you're not hefsed meruba. That's what we get. Moshe says this is a bella. It's a bella. Why should I look at every plate separately? What shaykhs? The whole thing at large is a hefsed meruba. That's Rabbi Kiva Eger. That's Moshe Rabbi Kiva Eger. And then Moshe goes on and he says, but let's say you have a set. I'm telling you, I remember this tshuva because of this. A samich ayin tes. I remember I read this tshuva. It's like a long tshuva, and it took me days to read the tshuva. But then when I got to the end, it took hours. What's a set? A set. Let's say you have a set. You have a set of plates. So he says, even Rabbi Kiva Eger will be masking. In other words, if you're going to lose on the set, now Rabbi is talking about because you want to sell it. Well, it gets complicated. I'm not going into now Rabbi Kiva Eger, right? Let's bring back to us. Does this help us? This is what I was thinking as I was driving over. Let's see. In the case of the freezer, I have a 5,000 shekel hefsed meruba to hefsed meruba, right? So now, how does this work? Mistama, we don't now start donning, okay, this no. The heter of the hefsed meruba goes collectively on the whole entire thing, right? For example, Ramosha doesn't write, well, once you get to the 11th plate, then I agree with Rabbi Kiva Eger. I don't remember that being in Ramosha. When you get to the 11th plate, then for sure Rabbi Kiva Eger is right, because there's only one plate left, right? So it seems to be that when you get the heter of a hefsed meruba, my case of the frozen items, we're going to probably let you finish the heter. Now, does that help us for the case of the graph of the 94% finished? I don't know. It's different concepts. I don't know. I don't know. When it comes to the 94, I cleaned off the table from the kiddush. 94% of the food is gone. Now the 6%, no one, when they would walk into the shul, let's say that guy, he comes late. The guy. He comes late to, the kiddush is over. Right? Oh my goodness, they even cleaned up. He's looking for food. He's, oh my goodness, they even cleaned up. And you asked him, what do you mean it's cleaned up? You don't see over there's one last plate of shells? One last plate of shells. He says, what are you talking about? The base mattress is clean. He doesn't see it even. He doesn't see it as dirty, right? So what do you say? Can you continue? What do you say? I would imagine that nobody speaks it out, right? Nobody speaks it out. So I don't know. So the Shmir Shabbos, because I don't know the answer. The Shmir Shabbos in the 22nd parak, in the 125th ois, he says, anything you're doing b'ritzifus, he asked for Shlomo Zalman. Shlomo Zalman said, anything that you stop, checkmate. Anything you stop, checkmate. But anything that you don't stop, it's ritzifus, it's all part of the heter of Graf Sharei, removal of the Graf. And as Chazal said, you're allowed to remove the Graf Sharei, okay? So then anything that was making the Graf Sharei, you're allowed to remove. But let's say, they clean the kiddush, and then they say, hey, you know what? It's already 1 o'clock, let's do mincha. They stop, they daven mincha, and then afterward they see there's still a plate left. Stomach game over. That's where Shlomo Tam. That's the idea. That's it. Is that clear, first of all, before I continue? Is it clear? What? No one knows the answer to that question. Well, yeah, so see this. Cleaning up the table is going to be mutter because you're doing it continuously. What? Yeah. Okay, I'm saying, yeah, but the question is if you can compare all things all over the place. But yeah, okay. Tzitz and mak. The question is if you can compare such things. I'm saying that's a shalom deraisa. There's not a shalom, a different type of shalom. What chazal or mat? Now, so that's a klal that, let's say over here, the Mishabura told me that b'makim, the Taz, I could be saying we're going to have some rubber. Remember, the Taz told us that animals are willing to eat it, even though you're not giving it. The Mishabura didn't like that. So it's a halachic cheshbon. It's a paiskish cheshbon. We're not so thrilled with the Taz. No, it's not else that. It's more else. The pshat is like this. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a mixture of both. Maybe the pshat, look, the Taz was mekel, right? You can't say the Taz is so wrong that you're going to go and have to do such a hoin rav and whatever. No, you're asking a very seistic question. Rabbi Blumenthal's asking. Let's say I say, I'm willing to take the loss. For God, I'll take the loss. So do we say it's baltashkas now? No, don't take the loss. It sounds usually from the paiskim that no, take the loss. You're allowed to. It doesn't sound like it's outside Meruba that baltashkas. It's the pshat is Chazal said b'makim have Meruba mikim falazich on that other shita. You could say on that other shita. Okay. No, that for sure. That the place can say all over. The tefsid meruba is nimdod and measured to feed the person. This person's tefsid meruba is this much, right? The wealthier you are, the more you're makbid. So the wealthier you are, probably the tefsid meruba threshold is going to be less. That's l'char. Okay, right? That's it. So now, no, it's for sure true. Anybody who knows anything understands what I just said. If you don't understand what I said, you don't understand anything. What?
If you have a neighbor that needs it, and for you it's not worth it.
Now, like this. I just answered. Now, the different answer than. Okay. Now watch. Does that help us for our garbage case? Go back to our garbage case now. So now I was in the middle of removal of the graf shel rei. It's not really. Does that help us for their garbage case over there? Again, just tell us for. Chazal said, I have the kiddush. Chazal said, Rav Ashi would have walked in here and would have said, oh, I see dead rats. Take the whole dead rat, get it out of here. That's what Rav Ashi would have said. So now I don't have to stop in the middle. Whoever added to making this graph situation, whichever ingredient over here made the graph situation, get him out of here. Right? That's what Rav Ashi would have said if he walked in here. So now even if I'm at the last we're at the 6 yard line over here and we have the last bits left. Okay. So no one's going to say that you can't finish cleaning up. Okay. Now, Rav Ashi then walked in. He saw me with this garbage. He says, get that out of here also. Go bring it out. Get it out of the house. It's going to smell. Get it out of here. So I bring it. I take it to the garbage. And then I put it down. Okay, but that's a different thing. You stopped. Rav Ashi just let me get the graph out of here. Now I got it out of here. Now it's in a place where it doesn't bother people anymore. So you don't have a right. Now, again, I myself am noita a little bit like the oilim is thinking, but don't get confused. It's a different lumdus. I'm noita that if this happens at 2:00 in the morning and you put it down, I'm noita, it's game over. But I'm noita also that if it's at 2:00 in the afternoon or something like that, and everybody's looking at you do this, maybe there is an ina imis. Ina imis is Rishus Rabbim is not a gzeres akosiv. It's not a gzeres akosiv that it's a makam that's mufka from graf shel rei. Maybe the pshat is if you're doing something which echoes people, which revolts people and repulses people, so then maybe even in Rishus Rabbim we can have such a thing. Maybe. So that I could hear a svara. But again, I just want you to realize this can have gavel. It's not the pshat. You can go to the garbage. You have to be thinking the whole time. I know it's hard, but you have to be thinking the whole time. You go to the garbage, you have to keep it in your hand. And it doesn't help to even go like this. Sometimes you have like the handles and it's down on the floor and you're just holding the handle still. Fake news. Fake muksa. No. Fake holding. No, that's not called holding. The whole thing is on the floor. You're not really holding it. Right? What? It's got to be more than Shir Chazar. Like Azay, right? In the air. Like this. You're a strong guy, no? You have all your muscle thing. Yeah, there you go, right? So you take it, you put it. Is that, everybody's clear now? Now there's no fakers, okay? Let's make a sikum so that we can start the shir. What happened? 1 minute. Today, what diaper? No, there it doesn't start. There it didn't start. Again, that's what we said. But the case of which case? No, because there we were saying you're not getting it away from you. You're not getting the smell away from you. No. Again, when you're in the removal process, so then Chazal said you don't have to stop. Here I'm not in the removal process. That was our time of that. But again, no, I'm not going through it again. Mitzvah Shem, if you want, you'll ask me after. But it's totally different. There, I'm not removing the diaper. I'm moving the diaper. When you're in a removal process, there's a heter of graph to remove the graph. Here, I'm not in a removal process. I'm in a moving process. You have no right to move the diaper. There's no heter for such a thing. But right. Oh, so that's a big problem. So again, in my world, it's not going to be such a problem because in my world, our world, we're all together in this on this one. But in our world, the garbage is filled with totally non-muktzah things. It has some muktzah things also. So it's tiltul min atzad, the tzarech the makim, the tzarech the garbage. But let's say your garbage is filled with total muktzah, and you want to take out that garbage in order to put in a new garbage. I don't know any answer for that. That's called tiltul graf shel rei the tzarech mekoymai. There's no such thing. Doesn't exist. Ain't kazeh davar. That's the way it's done. Take the garbage out. I understand, but then that won't be mutter. You're only going to be allowed to do it if you're doing it in order to remove the graph. If you're doing it not to remove the graph, you're doing it to put in a new bag, that is not allowed. Assuming it's muktzah. That's the char. Now, good, Claire? Everyone good? No? Good. What? Again, if in your garbage is filled with muktzah, it's not tilted mitzvah, it's a buses. It's holding muktzah. It's holding up the muktzah, right? Now, derech hagav, Rabbi say, Stam, you better, because you're so used to garbage not being muktzah, you better remember, Erev Shabbos, you take the one garbage out. You better tell this to your wives. You take out the garbage right before Shabbos, and now there's a fresh garbage bag inside the garbage, right? Very common case, not a weird case, right? It's a fresh garbage bag, nothing in it. It's yummy and delicious. You can eat off of it. Okay. All of a sudden, Anshul, she's a reason makdim in the Shabbos. He doesn't do anything. He goes right away. He's ready. He's making room for all the get the essen, for skams essen. Yeah. So he makes a lot of room. Okay. She takes this garbage. She puts it into whatever plastic bag, and she takes it and she throws it into the garbage. Meisim the kol Shabbos people do this. So what's in this garbage can right now? Muktzah gomer, right? Muktzah gomer. Our dogs estos nicht. Okay, so it's muktzah gomer. When is it muktzah gomer in the garbage? From shkia bis ben hashmut, the ganze ben hashmashes bis seis. So now your garbage can, she just became a basis. That's it. The whole Shabbos, she's muktzah. She's muktzah. Game over, Rabbi's like, in Rosh Zalman's world, everything is muktzah. Don't forget, right? The plastic plates are also muktzah. You put the Erev Shabbos into the garbage, that's it. The whole Shabbos, the garbage is muktzah now. You can't move it around. And what we speak about yesterday, we spoke about, could you move a graph, a muktzah to get a graph? I said yesterday, you're not going to be allowed to move a garbage can, which is muktzah, to bring to the table, to put the graph into the, no way. Maybe we'll let you take the stuff off the table and bring it there. That far we're not going to let you do. The whole bag becomes a graph, yeah. The whole bag becomes a buses. It's a bus. Forget the bag. The garbage can is a buses. The garbage is, the bag is, everybody's a buses. The whole thing is muktzah. Good? Bus. If the cat we said you're allowed to throw him out, shik him back because he's going to make a graph. Yeah. The can, right. The can, let's say somehow I got out there. Yeah, very good. That's a good example. Let's say I take the bag out because the bag smells. You're right, it was muktzah and whatever, but now it smells, so I take it out. Okay? The pail, she's muktzah the whole Shabbos. No, what's that? No. Graf shel rei, again, Graf shel rei is a mitzias. If it smells, there's a fakir. There's a very important cloud. I like your question because the cloud that comes out is very important. Listen. The cloud that comes out is very important, right? Graf shel rei is a siba to yes be muktzah, not a siba to not be muktzah. If you're a graf shel rei, you're a reason to yes be muktzah. Chazal said that even though because you're a graf shel rei, you are muktzah. But Chazal said you don't have to suffer. That's the answer. That's the insight. It's a very big insight. Okay, I got it. Now we can start the share. Let's see. What? I prefer today that anybody's questions I stay, so it's not good that I ask the questions now. We'll go upstairs, Mr. Shem, and upstairs. So write it down because I want to hear the question. But like this, no, because we really have to start. We have to start. So like this. So I have a few cases here. Okay. Okay. Lice, removal of lice. That's a. So there's no tzeit on lice. Mitzvah Shem, you'll learn in Masechet Shabbos. You'll see there's no tzeit on lice. It's a whole shaila today. You're allowed to kill the lice. Our lice are different. Not the Ein HaKlach of the original. But there's a heter somewhere in the Gemara, the Shulchan Aruch Shin Tezayin. You're allowed to take off lice. So frekta tila LeDavid. But it's muksa. What do you mean? The little critter, he's muksa, the little guy, right? And we're going to learn in Mitzvah Shem the sugya pets. Most people don't have. Some people have pets, but but most people, the ones that are trying to get rid of them, right? So then those little parasite lach, those are muksa. They're muksa. Frekta tila David muksa. Zakta tila David. Graf Shabrai. Graf Shabrai. It's a pretty fair look, right? It's bias and what? The Graf Shabrai doesn't need to smell. No, Graf Shabrai does not need to smell. It doesn't say anywhere in Shastra Paiskim that a Graf Shabrai needs to smell. The Aruch HaShulchan says in Sivkot and Samach, if it smells, that's also a Graf Shabrai. It doesn't say anywhere that it has to smell. No such thing. What? Yeah. Just if it does smell, if something is moist, it doesn't say anywhere that achbar smelled or Rashi. It doesn't say anywhere. What? So again, this might be totally in the original shilas and whatever. I don't fully understand the system of the Aruch HaShulchan. But what? I mean, that's a raya, that it's moist. Okay. Again, I'm anyways in Tavshin Pei Aleph. I'm over here dealing with a bunch of, what's it called? When the guys are like, the girls, like, what are they called? Sissy lach, right? That they can't even sleep when there's a mouse who's alive, gevein lach, under his bed. I'm dealing with sissy lach, right? I'm dealing with God. You'd be able to sleep if there was a mouse. He would call me up. Please come over, Rabbi. Right? For sure, right? Right? No question in the world, right? And then me and my wife would have to come, So you guys can't even sleep with a, right? So what? If there's a piece of lice inside maybe one of your, it's all over, right? So you all understand the Tila L'David. You all understand Tila L'David. Like God, I saw the Chazain Ish. I mentioned this back then. The Chazain Ish, he says, what's the reason why you can take off the lice? You know the answer. What's the answer? What? Oh, because it's not muksa, because it's bottled to the hair. That's the Chazain Ish's side always. The things that aren't, we don't see a separate piece of lice. We see just a hair cleaning. He's not mesiaches to the chefza as a separate item, just like when you're wiping off there. If you ask the Chazain Ish, if you ask me, what's the reason why when I go like this to dandruff, what's the reason why it's mutter? You're touching dandruff. What's the reason? Now we know the answer. Graf Shalrei. That's pretty. Maybe it depends how many flakes he has. It's not geschmack, right? Everyone's looking at him. I'm getting subconscious as I'm talking, right? So inimut ekuldik not geschmack mois geferlich. You guys, you can't even sleep with a mouse under your bed. Who bothered you, this mouse? What's he bothering you? You actually wouldn't have a problem, right? But what? You guys can't even sleep with a mouse under your bed. So dandruff? But if you ask the Chazain Ish, she's going to tell you why you're allowed to go like this to the dandruff. What's the answer? It's part of the jacket. It's bottled to the jacket, right? It's bottled. It's not. What? Sorry? It's a big chiddush. I don't need the Chazain Ish. Once I know it's the graph. The truth is, you're going to have places where you might need the Chazain Ish, but okay. That's that. Here, I brought a bunch of cases here. I gathered the family around and asked, give me cases. So one of the little guys said, juke. You guys know what a juke is? Yeah, no, it's all they have the flying ones, the geschmackers, You ever saw those, the geschmack, the flying, those guys can eagle off, right, airborne. Woo, So now, there's one over there. No, so let's make it labor. Let's make it geschmack. So you have one of those El Rochos. What are those trap locks? Those what are they called? What's it called? The trap? No. I meant with like those things that have like the fumes that come out. That people worried about the vaccine. You got these things under your bed. What chance do you have, right? So what are those? What? No, like overeater. What? No, that's a shoot. What? No. It has like these little black. You don't remember the. Yeah, you don't remember the commercial, not commercial, because that's a favorite. Like you don't remember the magic, the roach goes in on one side and he comes out on the other side. You know what I'm talking about? And he comes out dead. What's it called? Easy off or something. I don't know. Anyways, so there he is. So now your trap worked. There he is, dead, right? And you see like all the aunts and uncles coming to make a menuchas mat. All the little ants are coming there. They know, yummy, right? So you're allowed to take him out? Yeah. Graf Shalrei? Yeah. Should be machmer, do it tiltum and atzad. Good. Nish gefährlich, right? Don't pick it up with your hand. Don't pick it up with your hand, okay? A lizard that's alive might be a problem with Seder. A roach that's alive is definitely a problem with Seder, but you can push him out with a broom. What? Oh, so if he's caught, yeah. But again, then we go back to the old thing. What if you know that he's trapped under the bed or something like that? Huh? Come on. Is that a heter? Oh, all of a sudden you're okay. Okay. Am I going to get a phone call about it? No. I just killed the poor guy. No, we're going to learn about mace. But we're going to learn about mace. If you guys on TV knew what's going on here, you would fly to Israel. But okay, so wait. So a juki could push him out, and a juki again under the table and under the bed. I don't know. Wait, no, Bamis. You guys, one second. Under the bed, you guys couldn't deal with the mouse, but a juke, would you be able to deal with the roach? Huh? Abby, you can sleep, I see, on this one. Rabbi Shvei, did you be able to sleep on this one? Huh? Okay, it's very geschmack. What? Dead or alive? It's a different? What? Dead one's better or worse? Much better. No. He's dead, but he's trapped. No, he's alive, but he's trapped. No. If he's not trapped, so then I hear. That's pretty fair. Even I, could get a little bit, you could schwitz a bit from a little.
You'll have to feed it to the live mouse.
It's not. So there's a story with Chaim Kanievsky. You know the story? The story of Chaim. The story was that Chaim, they caught. I hope I'm getting the story right. I need somebody to remember the story. You remember that Chaim? They caught a mouse. They caught a mouse by Chaim. So they went to ask the Chazayin Ish, are they allowed to eat before they feed the mouse? He was alive still, right? But you're not allowed to eat before your animal. So they asked the Chazayin Ish, is that called that they now own him? Right? That was the shayla. Okay, no? I can find him. So I don't know. It might be told. It's not Misoy Nois of Olav. What? No, Mistama, it's not Misoy Nois of Olav. Mistama is something that's oimed to be mafkir is Mistama Nish. I'm not sure because here it's okay. We're not learning this. One second. I saw in the Shmir Shabbos in the 23rd parak in the 34th ois that he says this is something I don't understand. This already I think the Olam will hopefully or maybe he'll agree to me. He says spider webs are graf shalrei. That's what he writes. Now one second. Okay, if you have it on your Gemara hasn't used in a while, but you have it on your Gemara, you have it on your plate here, you have it like, on the fridge. But, you come into the living room and it's in the corner over there and whatever, on the top over there. Yeah, you're supposed to have cleaned it Erev Shabbos, right? I mean, what's going on over there? There's a whole Spider-Man over here, you to start singing the niggin, what's going on top of there and dust, right? You understand what I'm saying? So, I don't know. He just writes over there, spider webs are graf shalrei. You can't say that. You can't just say spider webs are graf shalrei. It depends where they are. Yeah? What? The spider web in the middle of whatever. No. On top of your farm trunk and whatever. No. The way he makes it sound is like spider webs is always more. That's not true. If the spider web is in a place where, there you are, you're making hamaitzi, you're holding the kiddush, and you don't need a challah decal because you got the ganze, there he is, woo, spider, the whole thing all over your challah, us. Memela what? Thanks, Don, but that was in their days. Maybe today we don't use spider webs as often, right? We wear masks, all right? So, okay, what else do I have here? The Shmir Shabbos in Chav Beis Kuf Yud Ches, he brings a different case that I mentioned here, which was the air conditioning drip. We mentioned that case. Okay, but that's also, you have to know where. I mean, if your air conditioning is dripping outside, then obviously there's no heter of graf shalrei, it's not bothering. If it's dripping in the middle of your living room and it's making a mess and the floor gets black and whatever, it's graf shalrei. Stama to grab right? Stama, it's can't see in what? Yeah, so then after we have to talk about, we have to learn bittul kli mechana. It's complicated. He's saying, I'm sorry. The water is muksa gomer because it's naila that we mentioned. So now what? So now if I put a bucket there, there's halacha which we have to talk about, which is called bittul kli mechana, which is that you're causing something to be stuck there, right? You're causing something to be stuck. That's a big shaila. But let's say I just want to push it away. Let's say I just want to take a sponge stick and get it out of here, right? So the truth is that might be mutter anyways, because that'll be tiltum in atzad, let's start the makim. I don't want anyone to slip, right? So well, give me another example. When am I going to be moving the muksa? What's a case that I'll be moving it? What? Maybe. That's not bad. I mean, that's not bad. I want to move the pipe. That's not bad. I want to move the pipe. And that goes back to our other heter that Chamchi's right. That goes back to our other heter that I can avoid a graf shalrei. I can avoid a situation where it's going to be a graf shalrei. So I want to move the pipe, which gets back to the other shayla we had. Oh, so Yishmak wants to know muksa. No? The other shayla, I want something attached to the wall, is a muksa, the way we learned. But since when you move the pipe there, it now stays in a whole different place, then that taka would be muksa. So therefore, you need a heter of graf shalrei. And you need to know that a graf shalrei, you're allowed to avoid a graf shalrei. You're allowed to move muksa to avoid a graf shalrei. What? Yeah, you're moving the muksa. No, but you're also to buses to the water. So it's muksa, right? Okay. What happened today? No, this has never happened. No, we really didn't do anything. Didn't mention anything, no? You guys aren't supposed to be helping me. Oh my goodness. No, my mamish did nothing today. I don't even know what to do. All right. Well, one more thing. And then tomorrow, from the first second, we're doing for 2 seconds. That's what we didn't do anything today. No, this is mamish and avera. So I'm actually really distraught now. Oh my goodness. No, this is real. Oh my goodness. All right, well, let me just say one thing. Those garbages that you pull out, the garbages that are attached, we're going to learn this. We didn't learn buses, but just once we're in the sugya of garbage, I want to make it a shleimistic, a finished thing. This is the last thing, but the garbages, as I mentioned today, most of our garbages are usually not a problem, but heed my words. If you had soya or whatever in there on Erev Shabbos, she's a buses, okay? She's a bus. Where's this negaya? Okay, so if it's the actual garbage, again, some people have, fancy people, they have a drawer underneath the sink. You know what I'm talking about? Underneath the sink. So now there's 2 types, there's 2 different shitas, right? 2 minhagim. One minig is that it's a door and you open up the door. The door comes out, right? That's one shita. And then it's attached. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, that shita? And the door is attached. You open up the door and everyone knows what I'm talking about, right? No, you open up the door and the door pulls out the garbage like that, right? But no, one's a drawer. One's a drawer and now you're pulling out the garbage on a drawer, right? And one is it's like a door. It's attached to a door. You know what I mean or no? I saw these different shitas. No? Yeah. I don't want to use the sitter, but there's my diaper again. So it's like this. Right? That made no difference. Right? So here's the garbage. So sometimes you open it up and it comes out like that, right? And sometimes it's a drawer and you actually pull it out, right? Is there a difference, first of all? So first of all, if she's a basis, it's a very big problem. You're not allowed to open up that drawer on Shabbos. It's a basis. Meaning, we always said svaras that a door is not bottle to the item. Remember we said svaras like that? The door is being mishamish the house. You can't say my sole tachlis of life is to be mishamish the garbage or whatever. Bishul you have a pocketbook on the back of a door. You want to know, could you open the door? That I understand. Because the door is tachlis achayim, is not to hold up your pocketbook, right? It's not a buses to the pocketbook. It's a buses to the house. It's mishamish the house. Here, it's a little bit harder, right? Come in, it's you're moving the drawer. So when the garbage actually comes out, let's go in order. In the case of where it's a drawer, I think that's mamish a problem. If it's a drawer, it's mamish, that's what it is, right? It's mishamish. Or do you say no? That's my suffix here. Or do you say no? You say that since, let me explain to you. When I have the door, right, I look at that door as the tsura of, the beauty of the kitchen, the decor of the kitchen, right? So what's it being mishamish? It's also being mishamish the tzura. I want it to be the outside tzura of the kitchen. And mitzacheni, it also holds up the garbage. It does both. But you understand, I think there's a difference between, I'm not going to finish this now. When we learn buses, we're going to find, we'll get to finish. I just want you to think about this. I think there's a difference between when it's a drawer. When it's a drawer, your mamish pulling out the actual garbage. I think that's worse. But we didn't learn buses yet. I want you to know those two things are not pasha. And I saw that Dorcha Shabbos says, he says, if you have a garbage that you step on it, the pedal, and then it lifts up the thing or whatever. So he says, stepping on it is the normal way. So you don't have the heter of muksa begufay. He says, and if the garbage is a muksa, so then now the lid of the garbage becomes like the garbage. So when you're stepping on it in the normal way, you're picking it up. What? Why? The lid is it's attached. It's attached. It's yeah. No, it's not separate. What? No, because now the garbage is the buses to the bag, right? But I'm not sure. Is the lid being mishamish the garbage or is it being mishamish the room? And also, is that such a simple cloud that things that you do normally with your foot, maybe they weren't geyser muks. We didn't learn yet the sugya. But so these are things we have to come back to. That is in the Orchas Shabbos in the 19th parak in Shemem. Hey, those things aren't clear. Tomorrow, the 2 minutes, we're going to do just Grav Shal Rei L'Chatchil, and then we're going into pets. Right? In the meantime, no, you have to hold it in your hand until you get to the garbage. In the meantime.
Show the bias problems that we're going to have now.